Hi guys, this is Vineet and I welcome you to this video. In today's video, we will discuss about the database profiles. So this is basically the database job profiles review. So before I proceed ahead, I would request you guys to please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. There's a subscribe button below this video. Click on that subscribe button and it will give you a bell icon. Click on that bell icon, select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my future videos. So let me give you 5 seconds. Please go ahead and subscribe. So guys, I hope you must have subscribed by now. So open up notepad file and here I will be discussing some of the profiles. So earlier we had discussed about some of the profiles like senior database developer, what are the requirements for a senior database developer profile. Then we talked about the SQL Server architect profile and we discussed on the senior SQL database administrator profile. And apart from that, we have also discussed the senior SQL developer profile as well. So today what we will discuss is we will discuss another profile which is of database specialist. And guys, I'm giving you some real-time requirements. These are the requirements for some of the companies at present. So database specialists are in demand. Okay, so let me discuss this profile with you. What is required for this profile? We talk about the experience and the primary skills. They want experience in SQL Server DB data modeling. So far, guys, we haven't started creating any videos on the DB data modeling profile. In case you want us to create some videos on the SQL Server DB data modeling, which I think can be done by using Power BI, we can create some videos out for you. But for that, we need your comments. Otherwise, I won't be able to create any videos because there are so many areas we are creating videos for. So one of the tools that can be used for data modeling is the Power BI tool that can be used. And if you want us to create videos on the data modeling, then yeah, do let us know by your comments so that we can start creating videos. And guys, if you don't know what the data modeling is, let me take you through one of the definitions of data modeling. So guys, basically data modeling is basically, we can say it's a process of analyzing and defining all the different data types. In this modeling process, we define certain data types that our business collects and produces. So we basically define the data types. And what else we do? We also established the relationship between these data. So that is basically ER modeling is one of the data modeling techniques used for the database. So you can learn about ER modeling if you want to learn about the data modeling process. And basically in the data modeling process, we define all the data types, fields, and their relationship between different tables. How do we define this data modeling? We use text, symbols, and diagrams. Diagrams like ER diagram we use most probably. And data modeling concepts create the visual representation of the data. So what it does is the data modeling creates the visual representation of data as the data is captured, stored, and used at your business. So rest of the definition we can omit. So first requirement, guys, for this job role was is basically to have experience in SQL Server DB data modeling. So you should be able to develop some ER diagrams. You need to define data for the business. You need to establish the relationship between the data. And you need to show the representation in pictorial format using the ER diagrams. So that is one of the requirements of this role. Now, if we talk about the other requirements of this role, so another requirement they've asked for. So I'm rubbing off this definition for data modeling. So we were just discussing about the requirements. So one of the requirements is that you should have experience in SQL Server DB data modeling, and another requirement is you should have experience working with data security practices. So you should have experience in data security practices. So far, we haven't made any videos on data security practices as well. So you will let us know if you want us to create videos on data security practices. We will create them for you. But unless we don't get your comments, we won't create any videos in this area, and we will go by our regular video making flow. Where these days I'm covering the topic temporal tables in SQL Server. This is the current topic we are working on. So if you want us to make videos on any particular topic apart from our regular flow, do let us know about that. So yeah, let's continue with this profile. So this profile requires you to have experience in data modeling. It requires you to have experience in database security practices, and you should have experience in installing the security software packages. That is another requirement. And you should have in-depth knowledge of, so you should have in-depth knowledge of modeling and the architectural patterns in SQL Server. And you should know the governance methodologies as well, how data is governed in SQL Server. You should have experience in SQL Server. And you should have experience in another softwares as well. So you should have experience in Azure Data Factory, which is basically cloud version of SSIS. You do the same stuff you do in SSIS with the Azure Data Factory. And you should have experience with Azure Synapse and Azure functions. This is another requirement. And apart from that, you should have little bit experience on database programming as well. You should know how to develop the stored procedures and how to write functions, triggers, etc. for any database tables. And they've also asked for experience in one of the SSIS ETL tool. So SSIS is one of the ETL tool. Azure Data Factory is also equivalent. That's a web-based SSIS. So experience in, if you have experience in SSIS ETL tool, that would be really great. So we had started making a playlist. This is my channel page, guys. The link for this channel page is given in the video description area of this video. So if you go to my channel page, you will find the database playlist for SQL Server integration services. So far, we have posted 21 videos. So go through them and try to learn SQL Server integration services. Do let us know when you are about to reach towards the end of the playlist so that we can create more and more videos for you. So do let us know via comments if you want us to create any videos on SQL Server integration services soon. So it's only on the first come first serve basis. So as soon as we receive request, we will start creating videos in that area. So yeah, that's the broad set of requirements for this role. Apart from that, they have also asked for some basic skills. So let me go through that as well for this role. So they've asked that you should be able to understand and translate the business requirement into technical specification. So you should be able to understand the business requirements from the customer, and you should be able to convert those business requirements into technical specifications. And after converting them into technical specification, you should be able to build the elegant, efficient, and scalable solutions based on the specification. So you should be able to define the database using the data modeling tool. So basically, you should know how to gather the customer requirements and try to understand them and basically build the elegant solution on top of those requirements. And the another thing they have asked for is the experience working with the industry standards, regulation and guidelines in the database warehousing. So another thing you should be aware of is how the warehousing works basically. So far we don't have any playlist on the data warehousing. Let us know if you want us to create the playlist. Do post in the comments, guys. So you should have experience in data warehousing and other relevant systems. And regarding the software products, they have asked that you should have experience with the, basically you should have experience with the some of the software packages like databases, like you should have experience with this. SQL Server is one of the databases. So guys, we do have lots of playlists on SQL Server. What I would suggest is you can start learning through these two major playlists, which are the SQL Server Database Design playlist and SQL Server Business Continuity playlist. These are the two first playlists that you should start following if you want to learn about the databases. Especially this one with 112 videos is especially very important if you want to learn about SQL Server Database Design. That's really useful. So yeah, first requirement is you should have an understanding of SQL Server, practical experience on SQL Server. You should have experience on Oracle. So guys, we haven't yet started making videos on Oracle. Do let us know if you want us to make videos on Oracle as well. So Oracle is another relational database management system, and it's a separate software from Oracle, and this is also an RDBMS. And the last one is the MongoDB, which is a non-relational database management system or NoSQL system, where you keep the data in the form of key value pairs. So let us know if you want us to create videos on MongoDB as well. Do post in your comments, guys. Okay, let's see what they've asked for next is. They've asked that you should have knowledge on the database, and you should know how to do table partitioning in all of these softwares, SQL Server, Oracle, and MongoDB. You should be aware about how the table partitioning is done. You should have knowledge of database design as well. So let me post in that requirement. So they have asked that you should have knowledge of database design, and that includes the table structure, data types, index management, and permissions, etc. So guys, there are some playlists. The first one is the SQL Server database design. There are another two playlists. One is on performance tuning and one is on SQL Server indexes. And we have another playlist on tables as well. You can go through them, go through all of these playlists to get experience in that area. Let me move ahead. So you should have knowledge on database design, the table structure, data types, and index management and permissions. They've asked that you should be able to perform the SQL Server database maintenance, including the optimization, integrity checks. So integrity checks in SQL Server are done using the DBCC statements. You can check for the database integrity, whether it's in good health or not. You can check through that. Again, we haven't videos on database integrity as of now. And for optimization and performance tuning, we have a playlist. You can check out my channel page. You will find that playlist. And you should know how to recover your databases. So you can watch out my playlist on the business continuity to look into that area. And apart from that, you should be able to handle the failover of databases, and that includes clustering as one of the mechanism through which databases can be failed over. So you should have knowledge on clustering as well. So far, we haven't created any videos on clustering. Do let us know if you want us to create those videos. Now, in addition, they've also asked for another requirements. They've asked that you should have knowledge of network architecture to develop, implement, and maintain the highly efficient network systems. So this one is less crucial. So you should have little bit knowledge about the network architecture. You don't need to be an expert on database, on network architecture, but yeah, you should have at least some knowledge. Next thing they have asked for is the database performance tuning. So if you talk about database performance tuning, we have a playlist on database performance tuning, which is currently having 40 videos. You can go through that. Do let us know if you reach towards the end of the playlist so that we can create more videos under this playlist. There's lots to cover, guys, so let us know through your comments, guys. And they have also that they've asked that you should have knowledge of database performance tuning, including identifying the bottlenecks with suitable workarounds. So you should be able to identify any bottlenecks, and you should be able to provide the workarounds. And they've asked that you should be able to optimize the existing databases, and you should be able to look into the business logic, basically the source code, SQL source code. You should be able to analyze that, and you should be able to optimize the existing database by modification of scripts. Next thing is you should have knowledge of high availability and the disaster recovery. So guys, we will be soon making out videos on this area, the high availability and disaster recovery. I think I should start making videos now under that particular area. Do let us know if you want us to make those videos for high availability and disaster recovery options inside SQL Server. And you should be able to take advantage of Windows Server clustering, on which the SQL Server clustering is based. And you should have knowledge on the transaction database replication. And they have asked that you should be able to implement and perform the database encryption algorithms. So they want us to have knowledge on the encryption algorithms that can be applied on the database. So you should have knowledge on how to apply the existing encryption algorithms available in associated software packages on the databases. So far we haven't created the videos and encryption. So we will cover out that category soon. We will soon make out videos on encryption. Do let us know, guys, if you want us to make those videos urgently. If you want to learn about that section, do post in your comments, guys. We rarely get your comments, guys, so please do post in your comments. We would like to know your viewpoint, what exactly you want to learn, and we'll make videos accordingly. Now, next requirement they've asked for is you should be able to automate and perform the database restores. So you should be able to create the plans that will perform the database backup and restores, and you should be able to perform the system refreshes of non-production environments using the production data. So you should be able to load the data out of production environment into the non-production environment so that users or quality checkers can work with that data, or software developers can use that as a sample data. The last thing they have asked for is that you should be able to recommend and implement the best practices for REST API integration framework model. So guys, you need to learn about this, the REST API, how you can integrate that API model with your databases. So you need to learn about that API model separately. We do not have any videos on REST API as of now, but yeah, if you want us to create videos on REST API, do let us know about that. Alright, I think that's it. So this profile is done, guys. Let me see how much I have recorded so far. 60 minutes. So next profile that we can discuss is for database engineer. So let's see what are the requirements they've asked for the database engineer profile. So this is with another company. I'm not telling you the name of the company, but yeah, here we are just discussing what the database job profile is so that you can do your preparations accordingly, and you should have an idea of what technologies do you need experience with, or do you need experience in. The role of these videos is to basically make you familiar with what are the requirements for various database job profiles and what do they demand, and what is your current preparation and which areas do you need to focus on. That's the purpose of these video series. Let's go through some of the job responsibility they've asked for. So first, I'm talking about the general job responsibilities. They have asked that you should have knowledge, you should be able to design, develop, and maintain database system. So designing is quite common in these profiles. So you should be aware about the database design process. We have a playlist for that, so you can go through that. So you should be able to design, develop, and maintain the database system to support the business application and data-driven processes. Second thing they've asked for is that you should be familiar with the performance tuning, database performance tuning, and you should be familiar with the indexing process. We have video playlist created on both of these topics. You can go through that. Check out my channel page. You should have knowledge of database partitioning. We haven't created any videos on database partitioning. Do let us know if you want us to create videos on database partitioning. And you should be familiar with any other performance optimization techniques. Next thing they've asked for is that you should be able to implement and manage the database security. We haven't created videos on database security yet, but yeah, we will create some videos soon. So you should be able to implement and manage the database security measures to basically safeguard the sensitive data in the system. And you need to basically ensure that compliance with regulatory requirements should be met. In this role, you should be able to troubleshoot and resolve the database issues, and this will include any performance bottlenecks. You should be able to see if any queries causing the performance issues, or your application is showing some performance issues, so that you can check the queries and the execution plans that are executing in the background. And you should be able to also check any of the connectivity problems. Next thing they've asked for is that you should be able to collaborate with the software developers to integrate the database functionality into applications. So you should be able to work with SQL Server software developers, not just software developers, we can say. You should be able to collaborate with them. And basically, collaboration is required to integrate the database functionality into applications, and you need to ensure that compatibility with the existing systems as well. So you need to have discussions with the database developers in this role. And next point they've asked for is you should be able to define and enforce the database standards, best practices. So this is a theoretical concept. Yeah, you should have knowledge on that, how to enforce the database standard and the best practices and procedures to maintain the data integrity and consistency. Next thing they have asked for is that you should be able to perform the database backups, any disaster recovery planning you should be able to do, and you should be able to do testing to ensure business continuity and minimize downtime. So all the testing should be done. You should be familiar with the testing processes to ensure that during the time of business disaster or during the time of disaster, your business can continue and your database system should be working in a smooth manner. So for that, you need to know how to perform the database backups and you need to know how to perform the disaster recovery planning. That's one of the major concepts. And we have created videos on that as well, how to do planning regarding the disaster recovery. You should check out my business continuity playlist regarding that. Next thing they have asked for is that you should be able to provide any technical guidance support to any of the team members, including the database administrator, developers, and the business analysts. You should be able to guide them. And you should be, another sort of requirement they've asked is that you should be able to stay current with the industry trends in the emerging technologies, and you should be able to incorporate best practices in the database management and administration. And regarding the software, have proficiency in SQL programming and database management systems. And these softwares can include MySQL, PostgreSQL, and SQL Server. So they basically ask for SQL Server as a major product. So you should be able to support these three products. These three products are same if we talk in the sense that SQL syntax are same. Yeah, the administration may be a little bit different between these three softwares. But yeah, the SQL, if we talk about the transact SQL or the SQL syntax part, it is almost somewhat similar between these three products. So far, we haven't created any videos on MySQL and PostgreSQL. Let us know if you want us to cover these software packages and create videos on them. So far, we are creating videos on SQL Server. Another thing they've asked for is nowadays people have started asking for Python experience as well. So you should have experience in one of the programming languages as well. You may have experience in .NET, Node.js, or Python. You can use any of them. You should have some scripting knowledge, and you should have experience in Jira tool. So Jira tool is basically used to track the bugs and all. And if you have knowledge on the Office 365 software, and you should have knowledge on agile methodologies as well, that would be a plus point. So yeah, that's the requirement asked for this particular role, which is the database engineer role. So guys, in this video, we are just covering the two profiles per video. So far, this is the third video on this video series. You can check out my earlier two videos in this video series as well. So we have a separate playlist for that altogether now. So this is database job profile discussion is the playlist for it. So you can watch out all the videos under that. And do let us know about your comments, whether you like the videos or not, and do post us your requirements if you want us to create videos under any of the categories. Or maybe you can let us know about the areas you are experiencing difficulty with. And if you want us to make videos on those particular areas, do let us know about that. Guys, I thank you so much for your time on this video today. And if you want to write me an email, you can write to me on vrmavana@gmail.com. And that's my email address. You can send in your concerns, comments, queries to my email address. Today we have covered video 3 of this video series, database job profiles review. So thank you so much for your time, guys. Do post in your comments. Subscribe to my channel. There's a subscribe button below this video. Click on that subscribe button. It will give you a bell icon. Click on that bell icon. Select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my future and upcoming videos. Guys, if you have a good network of friends that are also working in SQL Server domain, or if they are working in database domain, do let them know about my channel. You can ask them to subscribe to my channel, and you can also share my videos with them. There's a share button that comes below each and every video, through which you can share my videos with the social media platforms with your friends. And guys, yeah, that is the help required from your end. And guys, thank you so much for your time on this video today, and you have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much.